Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G here. So I wanted to talk today. I'm gonna get right into this because I had a few things to do, but I'm going to talk about how the Black church is the real culprit behind the failure of Black families in the Black community. So subscribe to my channel and let's have this discussion. Okay, so I'm gonna play a clip for you guys, and it's the clip of TD Jakes preaching to women and men that you do not want a man who has his shit together. You want a man you can build. You want a man that you can make into something, basically. And, basically lower your standards. Okay, take a listen to this, and then we're gonna...
The mistake women are making is when you're looking for a perfect guy, no issues with them. He's wonderful, he's dark and handsome, tall, white and handsome, whatever colors you like. He has to have a job, he has to have a car, he has to have a house, he has to have money in the bank, he has to have muscles or things that are on your checklist. It's all wonderful, I get that, because you're looking for a perfect man. And I'm telling you, this is where you're going to be disappointed. Because ladies, you don't really want a man to come in your life who's already great. That's very dangerous. Because when the man is already great, he has everything. He doesn't need you. That's why he will abuse you. You need a man who desperately sees you as a helper, sees you that you can pull the greatness out of him, sees you as a partner who will build an empire.
Let's just jump right into this discussion. This is one of the biggest red flags to me when I was dating. If a man was God-fearing and Christian or whatever, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I don't want any part of that. Because what they are trying to attract is that woman who is going to let them figure out their lives on her time and her dime, have babies with them, and then when she... Let me tell you, Black women have become smarter than this. And I think that this is why so many relationships, of course, are failing, because Black women are becoming educated. They are getting what they need to do in this life, and they are making smarter choices. Because what the Black church keeps telling Black women over and over, and it's not like everybody is not subscribing to this. There's a good amount of people who are still out there subscribing to these ideas, this misogynoir that is the basis of the whole Black love thing, right? And the reason the church is failing is because Black women have had to start doing this, right? So what they want is for you to find a man who needs building, right? So you're building him. You're putting in your money, your time, your effort, your youth, your whatever. You're building him. Now, all this time you're building him, he's doing whatever, right? Like, he might not be the best partner. You're doing a lot. He might not be pulling his weight financially, whatever. You're building him. We all know that this investment does not also always build loyalty in the male species. So you might have to forgive him for his infidelities because you're not done building him yet, girl. When you are done, he will be better. He will do better. He will know better. But you're not done with him yet. So it's your fault. Work faster, quicker, harder. So all of this, to wait to either one or two outcomes. One, you finish building him, he becomes great, and he becomes that great man that does not need you anymore. And he will go find himself someone that he can build, right? Or just support her dreams as a, budding YouTube star. So, not me. So I think that it's one of those things that we do not necessarily get the return on investment as they make it sound. So that's scenario one. Scenario two is you manage to stay together, and then when he's like 70, he will repent and, give his loyalty to you full stop, with all of his bad knees, erectile dysfunction, 3 or 4 side families. Now, you did everything. You finished. You did it, girl. He's officially done. It took you all that time, but you finally got your projects done, and that's all that really matters, apparently, because I cannot understand how this is a incentive for any woman, let alone doing all this. Mind you, they're obsessed with what? Submission. So you got to build a man that ain't ready, right? You ain't finished with him yet. You got to build him, but you got to submit to this man at the same time. So I'm making you into something, and then these are things that just don't make sense, but it is the reason behind why there are so many men who have the audacity that they have today. And there's the funny thing is, they've all, to a certain extent, adopted this kind of mentality. We hear how single mothers and all of this are ruining the Black community because they are spawning children all by themselves. That's what's happening. No, there's no responsibility. There's no male responsibility. I saw the story, I can't remember, but basically this girl became pregnant, and they marched her in front of the entire congregation and shamed her. They made her sit in the back. They wouldn't make her a part of the community because she became pregnant and was having this baby. There was no story about the man. Somehow she was better for it. But the male responsibility, did they go find him and say, you got to take care of this kid, and support her? No. So they hate women. They treat you like, slaves, either financially or sexually, right? Because this is the other thing, is like the second half of those men. It's like the God-fearing Christians who have adopted this misogynoir. And then it's like the manosphere, they have the same ideology, except you submit through your lack, right? So you don't need to be educated. You don't need to be doing this. You need to be able to cook. You need to be able to serve. Although he can do those things for himself too, so he doesn't really need you to do that. You have to bring more to the table than, just sex. But, don't think your degrees are going to impress me. Don't think your accomplishments are going to impress me. But, I mean, the circular conversations are absurd. I guess at least with the whole Christian thing, you know where you stand. You are all of the slaves. You're a sex slave, financial slave. You are, whatever you need to be, his mom, his daughter, that's the thing, that whole daddy weird thing that I've read some strange comments about. And this is the thing that is sad, that he, in a conversation, T.D. Jakes with his following, is basically giving permission and acceptance of abuse. He's going to abuse you. And that's okay, because you know what? He's made himself. You didn't help. Isn't all of it abuse, really, in some form or fashion? I mean, I know churches that have deacons who are wife beaters, who have, are domestic abusers, who have molested children. They have these people in positions of authority. They're uplifted. And it's that constant secret that goes on, even in Black families at times. And we all know that it's a exists. We all know that people are like, oh, stay away from that uncle or that cousin or whatever. But those people are not jailed. They're not put out of the church. They're not ostracized like that pregnant girl. No, they are the leaders of the community. They are the ones that everyone's looking up to, and they are the ones setting the guidance for young people. And the funny thing is, a lot of these people who will talk in this way, well, I'm not really religious, I'm not da-da-da. But they've accepted these ideologies as truths and expect women to acquiesce to them. So the fact that more and more Black women are like, if I have to do all of this, what am I getting out of it? What is my investment really getting me? Because it gets a lot of pain and abuse. Sorry again, guys, I'm still in my selfie stick. It gets a lot of pain and abuse without a lot of reward or return for that investment over time. And, you know, especially now that people are like, oh, single mothers. Guys, I'm going to talk about this. We need to normalize letting dudes take their kids and women walking away sometimes. Not like necessarily emotionally from their children, but physically letting men take care of their kids. And I think that more people who are taking ownership and responsibility will learn. So, guys, the Black church has failed the Black family in the fact that they have put the onus on women to be everything without men having to take accountability for any sort of behavior, actions, or consequence. It didn't have to be that way if they valued women the way they value men, and they did not want to hold what they learned through white supremacy and the white patriarch as the way life should be. And I think that more women need to understand the outside of that expectation to be absolutely everything and get nothing but heartache and pain in return. So yeah, I really do think that the Black church should look in the mirror when they talk about Black families and why they're failing, because they have not helped at all. So guys, subscribe to my channel. I gotta run, try and get the boys at the beach. So, ciao for now.